Hello everyone, welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 48 named rotate image. In this problem, we are given a n by n 2D matrix which represents an image. Now, we have to rotate the image by 90 degree in the clockwise direction. Now, you have to rotate the image in place, which means you have to modify the input 2D matrix directly. We are not allowed to allocate another 2D matrix and do the rotations. In the first example, we can see that this is a 3 by 3 matrix, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if we rotate this by 90 degree in the clockwise direction, the first row become the third column. First row 1, 2, 3 become the third column, which is 1, 2, 3. The second row 4, 5, 6 become the second column 4, 5, 6, and the third row 7, 8, 9 become the first column, which is 7, 8, 9. This is the problem statement. I hope you understand it. Now let's move on to the algorithm. In this problem, the algorithm is pretty simple. We are suppose given this example, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now we know that for the indexing of an array in a two-dimensional grid, it always starts from 0. So here, the index number of first row is 0 and the index number of third row is 2. Similarly, the index number of first column is 0 and the index number of third column is 2. Now, what is the algorithm? The algorithm is pretty simple. We have to run a nested loop inside this input array, and we have to swap the corresponding I and j element with the corresponding j and I. Now, after that, we have to reverse the corresponding row. If we do these two operations, then the input array will be shifted 90 degree by clockwise. Now let's see how can we do these two operations and perform the rotation. Now suppose we are at this first row. Okay, so we are at this first element 1. Now we have to swap the element a of 0, 0 with a of 0, 0. Here 0 is I and 0 is j. Now, so we have to simply put 1 here. Now we are at this element 2. So here we have to swap the element 0, 1 with 1, 0. That means we have to swap it with the element 4. So 2 will become into the 4 place and 4 will be here. Now we are at this element 3 and we have to swap 0, 2 element with 2, 0 element. So we have to swap 3 with 7. So 7 will be here and 3 will be here. Now we have completed the first row, so we have to reverse it. So if we reverse 1, 4, 7, it will become 7, 4, and 1. At first, let's erase it. Now it will become 7, 4, and 1. So it is the resultant array after the first iteration. Now we have to iterate from the 1, 1 element. At first, we have to iterate from 0, 0 element, which is 1 this. Now, by this, we have completed these 3 elements or these edge elements. Now, we have to run the iteration from this element 5. So here we have to swap the element 1, 1 with 1, 1. So it will become 5. Now we are at this element 6, which is 1, 2. So we have to swap element 6 with 2, 1, which is 8. So 8 will be here and 6 will be here. But again, we have to reverse this second row and it will become 8, 5, 2. Now we have completed the iteration in this element. Now we are at this element 9. So we have to simply swap the element 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. Now 9 will be placed here and we have to reverse the third row and it will become 9, 6, 3. So let's erase it and make it 9, 6, 3. Now we have seen that after completing the iteration and by applying the swap and reverse operation, this resultant grid is exactly equal to the output. And this is how the algorithm works. I hope you understand it. Now let's move on to the code. In this algorithm, the code is pretty simple. At first, we are given a function named rotate, which has a 2D matrix as a parameter. Now, n is the size of the matrix. Now we are running the first loop till 0 to n and the second nested loop till I to n. And we're swapping the corresponding ij element with the corresponding j and I element. After that, we are reversing the corresponding row. And finally, this input matrix will be modified and rotate into 90 degree by the clockwise direction. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching the video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.